Today we're going to talk about how to use the Desert Fuels order system from the dispatcher's perspective. So first you're going to have to log in using your credentials. If you do not have credentials yet, then you will have to contact one of the customer account managers, either Mike Dewart or Scott, in order to get those credentials. So once you have your email address and your password entered, you can click sign in, and just remember the easiest way to get to your dashboard if you don't have it saved is always go to orders.desertfuels.com. Once again, that's orders.desertfuels.com. As soon as you type that in, it'll take you to the login page. And once you log in, go and click the Keep Me Signed In, whether from your iPhone, your iPad, or your computer. It will remember your details and keep you signed in. So when you first log in, you are going to notice that this is your dashboard, and let's just discuss everything that you're seeing. First, you have your company name or the carrier name. In this case, in the sample, we have this driver's name, who's Dispatcher Pat, and he is the dispatcher for Acme Truckin'. A couple of stats. For Acme Truckin', the number of unconfirmed loads, there's 1. The number of unassigned to a driver, there's 1 load. And the total number of delivered loads, there's 11. So you have a couple of stats right here, a little bit of information about the company to verify that it's you. And then you're going to have a couple of tables. The first table is confirming loads. The second table is assigning a driver. And the third is delivering loads. So let's go ahead and start off first with confirming loads. In this table, you have a couple of columns. You have order ID. The order ID is the specific, unique number that every order has. So in this case, the order ID is 11366003. You can always reference this order ID when talking to a driver or talking to a customer account manager with Desert Fuels. This order ID is unique and will able to be referenced by any one of them. Secondly, you have a column of delivery time and date. So this specific load needs to be delivered on Monday, July 20th, 2015, and the delivery window that was specified was anytime. The ship to is Dan's Gas Place. You can click on Dan's Gas Place and it'll pop up a map to that specific location. The terminal in this example is null. Null just means nothing because this is a test. There is no terminal information inside of here. And then there's delivery notes. So inside of confirming loads, what we ask from Desert Fuels is that any dispatcher working for any company confirms loads that are sent to you. So even if we call and say, hey, Dispatcher Pat, can you go ahead and deliver this load to Dan's Gas Place for Monday, July 20th? Even if you accept on the phone, we want the ability for you to accept it as well. So you have these two options right here, either to accept or deny. If something came up and you're unable to do this load, go ahead, click deny. But if you do want to accept it, go ahead, click accept. So we're going to do that right now. Click accept, it's going to load up a new window. And in this window, it's going to give your carrier acceptance. And so you can see that accepted, the Desert Fuels order 11366003. Hey, Dispatcher Pat, you have just accepted order number on behalf of Acme Truckin'. An email has been sent to you with behalf of the order details. So if we go ahead and refresh this page, and most browsers have a refresh button or reload. Go to reload the page, and that confirm load section, because there was one there, now that confirm load section doesn't exist anymore because there's no loads to be confirmed. And you can see that order 11366003 has moved from that section now into the assign a driver. So from here, you're going to be assigning a driver, and you can choose any one of the drivers that you have set up in your system. If you would like more drivers to be set up in your system, please reach out to a customer account manager, whether Mike or Scott or Cody. So let's look at the assign a driver table. From here, you have your order ID, your delivery date, the ship to, the status. Now the status, you have 4 statuses. You have received, scheduled, working, and delivered. So let's talk about each one of those. The first one, received, means that Desert Fuels has received an order from the customer. Regardless of the source, whether a phone call to Desert Fuels or an order placed from Power Fuel, received means is that we have received the order. The next one of scheduled means that the load has been scheduled, which when you assign it a driver, the load is officially scheduled from the customer's perspective. Thirdly, you have working. Working means that the driver is actively working on the load. And lastly, the status is delivered. So we're going to schedule a driver to do this load. So we're going to go ahead and choose Driver Dale. So all you have to do is click on the name, and it's going to, as you see now, the driver is now Driver Dale. It used to say none, and now it says Driver Dale. At any point, you can also click View Order. When you're viewing the order, you're going to be able to see all of the details. For this specific test, we didn't add any loading numbers or products or notes or a terminal, but those would show up in this section if this wasn't a test. So now you can see that Driver Dale is the driver for this load. At any point, if you would like to change your driver, feel free to do that by just clicking on the name. Do keep in mind, though, that your driver has already received a text message saying that they have been assigned a load. So Driver Dale just received a text message saying, "Hey, Driver Dale, you have been assigned a load from Dispatcher Pat," who is this person that we are testing right now. As soon as you click someone else, let's click Sarah Mancini, for example. Sarah Mancini has now been assigned this load. So Sarah Mancini just got a text message, but because Driver Dale was the previous driver, he also received a text message now saying, "Hey, Driver Dale, you've actually been unassigned from this load." They have their own dashboard that they can log into to be able to see their loads. And you're welcome to watch the video of the driver dashboard if you would like to see what the drivers see. So now Sarah Mancini is the driver for this load. She is also the driver for this load as well to A&S Plumbing. So that is the Assign a Driver table. Lastly, let's look at the Delivered Loads table. There is, once again, the column of Order ID, the column of Delivery Date, the column of Ship To, and then Status. Because it's delivered, there's now more information inside of the status. So you can see the date and time when it was delivered. So it was delivered on Saturday, July 18th, 2015 at 7 a.m., 13 minutes and 42 seconds. You can mark a load as undelivered. The reason why you may need to do that is maybe a driver accidentally delivered a load, or maybe a driver accidentally marked the wrong load as delivered. So this is where you, as the dispatcher, you can control what the driver has done. You can also see the driver name, and you can view the order again. So let's go ahead and mark this load as undelivered. Let's look at the order number so we can track it. It's 11202041. We'll go ahead and mark this as undelivered. And you can see now that that 11202041 has gone back into the Assign a Driver because the status, instead of being delivered, is now scheduled. It goes back to a scheduled state. So in this case, we're going to assign it to Driver Dale. The notes now you can see is deliver at 1 a.m. You can view the order, but let's go ahead and make sure that Driver Dale has that one because Sarah Mancini accidentally marked it as delivered. So with that, you can see a history of all of your delivered loads in this area. And once again, on the bottom, you're going to be able to see contact information for your customer account managers. So you can don't hesitate to call them at any point at 505-750-FUEL, which is also 505-750-3835, or cam@desertfuels.com. Mike and Scott and Cody are able to help you out at any time. And if you have any questions about this dashboard, feel free to give them a call and they're there to help you. Thanks for watching this video.